Badlands, running to Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Mr. Vice President, I'm going off script again, I know, but I just want to personally thank you. We've been through some stuff. We've gone through some of the most complex military operations this country's ever conducted, and your steady hand and your leadership during those was a great source of strength for me. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your character. Thank you for your selfless service. Thank you for commitment. Thank you for being a mentor to me, Mr. Vice President.
It's called the swamp. And you know what happened? And you know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all. Let's see what happens. Nobody else could have done that but me. I caught all of this corruption that was going on, and nobody else could have done it. Did I get that one right? Every 4 years, we gather on these steps to carry out the orderly and peaceful transfer of power. Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning, because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government, while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.
This is a president of the United States who is a danger to the republic.
America first.
He knows he's an illegitimate president.
The oath of office I take today is an oath of allegiance to all Americans.
The great Trump recovery.
America will never be a socialist country. I will fight for you with every breath in my body.
Russia, Russian, pro-Russian, Russian, Russia, Russian, 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 the Russians. Russian.
Russia, Russia, Russia.
And I will never, ever let you down.
A dangerous virus is spreading rapidly in China, and U.S. officials are very worried that it could come here.
This is really the worst attack we've ever had. This is worse than Pearl Harbor. This is worse than the World Trade Center. There's never been an attack like this.
The time for empty talk is over. Now arrives the hour of action. What they're doing is using COVID to steal an election. Together, we will make America strong again. You know what it's about? Fraud, fake ballots. We will make America wealthy again. They are trying to steal the election.
Now, under the leadership of President Trump, we are fully realizing President Kennedy's prescient view of Special Operations Forces.
We will make America proud again. And watch, please, those mail-in ballots. We will make America safe again. And in millions and millions of ballots. Their vote is under what they thought they needed. They're dumping more ballots in there, okay? And yes, together, we will make America great again. Thank you. God bless you. If we are right about the fraud, Joe Biden can't be president.
Congress, the chair declares the joint session dissolved.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of the Devolution Power Hour. As always on Saturdays, I am joined by Chris Paul. Chris, how are the horrors persisting this evening?
Everything seems good. It is a clear night.
That's good. That's good for you because based on what I'm seeing on Twitter, which I know you're a big fan of Twitter, everybody's freaking out. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows where anybody's from. It's a shit show and it's hilarious. And I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that tonight. You're missing out, man.
I don't think that I am missing out, actually. It is really funny, though, to see what happens when people who pretend to be right about stuff they just found out about for the first time, all the time, around the clock, throughout their entire lives, trying to collect social credit and fiat tokens online. It is very funny to see what happens when none of them can figure out what the right thing to say is.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. Ironically enough, the people who are most right are the people who are just willing to admit they have no idea what the hell is going on.
Exactly. That's I think Socrates from like 5,000 years ago.
Oh, I thought that was me. Did you trademark it? Because if not, I'm going to trademark it.
I don't
we
know.
We co-founded that together. That's what happened.
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
I do want to point out I'm wearing my Badlands Media Christmas sweater because we were like almost a month away from Christmas, and I figured now would be a great time to promo that with the holidays coming up. You go to badlandsmedia.tv/rise. They have the Christmas sweater series in there. We also have this new Badlands native coming out. I don't know if my computer's being a little slow, or maybe it's not loaded in there, but anyway, that's coming soon too, which is going to be awesome. So get your Christmas stuff, guys. But yeah, tonight should be fun. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about people who are claiming to be from America but aren't on Twitter. We're going to talk about people who are claiming to be from Venezuela but aren't. That's a good one. We're going to talk about MTG and what happened there. I had a interesting Twitter post which further enlightened me that nobody actually knows what the hell's going on, which is good, which is okay, but we're going to talk about it. There's more. We'll talk about the treason stuff. I think that'll be fun. And I listened to what you and Brian talked about, specifically the treason thing. And I think I have, like, you make some killer points as you always do. I have a different level of intrigue or interest in that whole scenario, which I don't know, maybe that'll make for a good decision or a good discussion. We also got Trump Mondami. That was a fun one.
Amazing.
And the peace plans. We can go through that because there's some contradictions in that. Like, we're going to give Ukraine sovereignty, but they can't do any of these things that most sovereign countries would be able to do if they actually were sovereign. So
yeah, and they're going to be fully controlled by some combination of the United States and Russia.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense when you realize it makes no sense at all. But yeah, before we do any of that, we should probably get a quick word from our sponsors, which I didn't load any of those ads in where I was supposed to. So hold for processing. Is there anything you want to say to the audience while I'm doing this?
Man, I don't know.
You got any Thanksgiving plans? None that you would tell us about.
Yeah, no. And of course, I would never say anything about that.
Well, that's good. Okay, well, I'm ready now. So thanks for stalling. First up, we got Chef IQ. Speaking of Thanksgiving, cooking Thanksgiving is pretty darn high stakes. One dried out turkey could ruin it all. You could also burn your house down like Burning Bright's dad almost did, which, by the way, I got Burning Bright's book. And before I finish the Chef IQ ad read, if you bought a book from Burning Bright and you were given the opportunity to request a transcription, Burning Bright does not necessarily write in the book what you requested, because I did not get what I requested in my book.
I don't even know if I requested something or if I knew that was an option. So I don't have any of that.
Well,
I'm a little sad about it, honestly. I'm going to have to make him inscribe it at some later date.
He didn't give you any inscription?
No. Just 2 B's.
You should have thrown urine in the trash too. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Well,
wow.
I'm going to strip him of his co-founder status.
Yeah. Be careful though. Might sue you.
Could be.
But yeah, I did take it out of the trash. I have it have it over here, and I'm probably never going to read it, so I can't. But other people have told me that it's probably a pretty good book.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Chef IQ. The USDA says that turkey's got to hit 165 degrees to be safe, but your eyes can deceive you. Chef IQ ensures that you hit that perfect temp every single time. Whether you're roasting, grilling, pan searing, even smoking that turkey, it's got you covered. Even if you're smoking while cooking the turkey, like CanCon, it got you covered. Just insert the sensor, tell the app what you're cooking, then sit back and relax. Chef IQ Sense tells you when to flip, when to take it off the heat, and even how long to let it rest. Basically, it's like having a personal chef watching the stove so you can hang out with your guests. No more oven peaking, no more dried out turkey, just perfectly cooked meals every single time. And it works for steaks, chicken, fish, whatever it is you're cooking. You'll wonder how you ever cooked without it. Plus, it's the ultimate gift, perfect for seasoned cooks, kitchen rookies, and everyone in between. Now you can get 30% off site-wide with code DPH at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com, promo code DPH. Another story before I get to our second ad read. You know what? Maybe we'll wait a couple minutes to get to the next one. Did you see the story that I think it's Todd Blanche is going after Ed Martin and Pulte, I think it was?
Yes, I saw that there was going to be an investigation into the two of them. I did not go into it, so.
Yeah, I didn't either, but I saw somebody in the chat put it earlier, and I just wanted to mention it before I forget. That is a weird story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on, but Todd Blanche was like, "It's supposed to be our guy, right?"
Yeah.
But whatever
But
that
then,
means anymore.
you know, he's one of the people that they've said, oh, this guy is responsible for all the problems. You know, then people say that Susie Wiles is responsible for all the problems and Pam Bondi is responsible for all the problems. I mean,
MTG.
Sure.
Responsible for all the problems. So weird. But yeah, this is a weird story. Oh, Bernie Bright's in the chat. Did he say anything about his book? If you do not send us your address, you need to email Miss Bright.
And he said that he will write in my book another time.
So he didn't even know whose books he was signing.
He said that Real Mrs. Bright put my book in the generic pile. So
that
I guess it's her fault.
It is her fault. I just got word that the new design is live on the site. That looks so cool.
There you go. Yeah.
Awesome. Anyway, yeah, this Todd Blanche story is weird. Is he doing it to like get access to how they got the information? I don't know, but we're told that Ed Martin and is it Pulte?
Yeah.
Is that how you say his name? They're
Yeah,
going
he's
after
like-
Adam Schiff and Letitia James and all those guys, and now they're being investigated. Just some weird shit going on.
Yeah, so he's like the guy that runs Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's all the real estate loan stuff. And we've had this, I mean, mini scandal. There's a couple of people with the same charge against them for this real estate fraud. And you have to wonder how prevalent that is. Every time one of these things comes up, I assume that's like an example that you can basically assume to everyone. And I'm not saying accuse them all directly of doing this sort of thing. But when you see some systemic exploit being exploited by multiple people, you have to assume you're just getting like the smallest possible sample of that and that it's pretty widespread.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I'm curious to see where it goes, though. Somebody in the chat left a rant, Aussie Mix, in the middle of watching Onlylands for the second time in a row. And I've got to say, Alpha is freaking hilarious. He is quickly becoming one of my faves on Badlands. Did you see?
I did not. No, so I guess, did he put on blackface or something?
Did put on blackface.
Wow, very bold.
So funny. I can't wait to get canceled by Media Matters over this.
I think that, okay. Where is he? Oh, wow.
Jew Rome is what he went by.
Actually looks like his head is appearing in black and white.
What?
It's kind of yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, Mayor Bowser apparently was in a white mask face. Hold on, let me see if I can find. Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. I think I saw it on Carly's page yesterday or something.
White mask face?
Damn it.
I'm so offended by that.
She went to some there was like a bunch of them at some meeting in DC. I'll have to find it.
Okay.
They were at like the train station there or something.
I mean, it's not urgent, so
no.
I just thought that was a good rant, and it was funny. Last night was a good time. Alpha, he's doing these characters like every week now, and he just goes all out. Clearly,
every day is Halloween.
Every day is Halloween. Every Friday is Halloween for Alpha. But yeah, man. Don't let me forget to come back to our other sponsor. We'll do that a little bit later. But let's talk. I don't even know what story to talk. Maybe let's talk about the treason one first. I think that'd be interesting. We talked about this last night too. There's that video that those senators put out, or Congress people from the Democrats, and I totally understand why everybody's, upset, because what they did was, I mean, by any standard, it was treasonous. Okay, I still feel like it was a little more implied, like they didn't directly do the thing that you can be hung for, just like Trump didn't directly like actually call for them to be hung. They both kind of implied it back and forth, and I think both sides were kind of doing it for the emotional reaction, and everybody bought it. Like, you have people on the left be like, "Oh my God, Trump said all these people need to be hung. That's terrible. That president can't do that." And everybody on the right's like, "Oh my God, these people committed treason and sedition, and they should be hung." And everybody's just yelling at each other. And my mindset on it, like, while I understand everybody's points about, they shouldn't have done it, what they did here was wrong. CanCon makes some really good points. Ash made some great points last night. I think all those people are guilty of much worse treason.
Sure.
And I think almost calling for this stuff now, when there's much worse, if there's even a scale, but I think they've committed worse crimes than the social media video with terrible background music. I feel like we're almost cheapening what it even means to commit treason when we're constantly like calling for people to be hung for treason over the little stuff like this. You know what I mean?
Yes, I think that I would probably be more on that side of things. I think that it makes sense to consider a much broader definition of treason than what appears in the Constitution. That is the people's delegation of power to the federal government. The people can rescind that delegation of power at any time, which means we can reconsider terms like treason. Now, there were, in the pre-constitutional era, and even with the anti-federalists in the constitutional era, they had a different definition of what treason was. And it was kind of descended from the British monarchy, that treason was rebellion or levying war against the sovereign. Well, the sovereign in the United States of America is the people of the United States of America. And so if you are rebelling against that sovereign as a member of the government, particularly in a time of war, which I think we both agree we are in, all of that is treason. Pretending to hold office when you cannot prove your own legitimacy is treason.
Yes.
Voting for laws in violation of the original Constitution is treason. All of these things are treason. And if we were serious about that really being an act punishable by death, I think that the number of people that would fall into that category is in the many tens of thousands.
Oh yeah. I totally agree with that. But we're not having that conversation. We're not talking about what it actually means to commit treason. We're not talking about these people who are illegitimately elected taking
that
office
conversation
anyway.
Hasn't started.
Well, I mean, we're having
Twitter
that conversation,
right? Okay,
but no, the people on Twitter are not talking about that.
Yeah.
They're talking about stupid shit, like they always do. They're not talking about any of the actual issues. But specifically when it comes to like this topic of the treason, it's like they said a bad thing on a video, not that they were illegitimately elected and took office, like you just said, and they're still asking for them to be hung and yelling for them to be hung. And I don't know. I think it almost feels like a red herring in a lot of ways. Does that make sense? Like it doesn't feel like it's.
There's definitely something off about it, and yeah. I think I think everything, your reaction is totally valid to what we're seeing right now, and that is pretty common with what we've been dealing with for months or years now. These things are so overt, they're so in your face, and the emotional reaction that comes up from a variety of different viewpoints, all assuming the same underlying story, is disconcerting every time, because more often than not, it feels like many of those viewpoints, if not all of them, are either directly scripted or the result of an incentive and punishment structure on these social media platforms, where people literally get more successful based on whether or not they can say clever things that other people will then repeat.
Yeah, that's a good point. Valseco in the chat, Valseco16 he left $1 rant says tonight on Flow, Cam had a caller suggest they might have got intel on Trump's future plans, and they are freaking out. I think a lot of people want to think that's what the case is. I mean, it would make sense, but I feel like if I don't know, I feel like they probably would have freaked out a long time ago. I mean, we've been assuming that Trump's plans are going to end up putting all these people away at some point, right?
I mean, perhaps a lot of people have that as one of the primary focuses of this period. That's not one of my primary focuses. I guess we will see if that happens. I talked about this with CanCon a little bit yesterday, listening to that video the first time around, and I don't know if you'll remember this. But I don't think we need to play the whole thing. I feel like I remember at a point that younger woman who is not, what is it, Slotkin from Michigan or whatever. It's not her. It's the other one who I was not familiar with. She said something about the oath is to this Constitution instead of the Constitution. And I thought that was a little weird because, as we've talked about a number of times, there is a school of thought, particularly on the left, but within global regime generally, that there is a second constitution layered onto the first constitution. The Reconstruction Amendments began the country over again with this new constitution. And that new constitution was an inversion of the old constitution. I've also suggested that Trump is working in alignment with that old constitution so that we can strip away that layer of the new constitution and focus only on that. So if there are indeed two constitutions and one of them is the one that Trump is using and the other one is the one that these representatives, these former CIA, these former military people are representing, and they are trying to remind the soldiers that their commitment is to that constitution, then it makes sense in an entirely different light. And I think it's at least worth considering whether that's kind of how they look at these things.
That is very interesting, but also I feel like it would require people to recognize that there are two different constitutions. And I don't know if many people are thinking that deeply.
Well, I mean, consider how it might be if you were in the military and figuring out whose orders to follow because you were able to detect that there was some divide within the ranks, maybe from the general class, or maybe it's down into enlisted people. I don't have any idea. I'm just proposing a hypothetical here. If there was some division like that, and you were being told from some angles that perhaps Trump's not the legitimate president according to this constitution, and they've probably been dealing with this for 5 years now. Maybe they think that they can sway some people. I don't know. Speculation, obviously, but
yeah, it is speculative, obviously, but I'm curious to see where this goes, because if technically it is sedition, which by definition, if you look at the rule of the law, as Ash and CanCon have pretty thoroughly explained, like you could look at it and be like, this is sedition. They should be put on trial or at least investigated for this. And I want to see if that happens, because if not, I mean, that would be another opportunity for justice and accountability, even though, in my opinion, it'd be kind of a cop-out, kind of like the Comey indictment for lying to Congress. This is that version of that for what these congressmen have done to me. But we could still pursue it. And so we'll see if anything actually comes of it. I have a sneaky suspicion that it won't. Like, I don't think Trump's going to push for charges against these people, but I would love to see him do it just to see how that would play out, like where that would play out. Would that play out in the USMCJ or whatever?
I
say that right?
Suppose so, but I haven't spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah, I haven't either. But I mean, I've spent some, but not about where this would play out. I'm just curious to see how the legal battle around that would play out. So it would be interesting. I just don't think we're going to get there.
Yeah, I would hope that people would start talking about like what the definition of treason is, what the definition of treason should be. And it's so weird because people on Twitter like don't even understand that they can have that conversation. They like need to know that the thing they're saying is approved of by some authority. Like in someone's eyes, this is right. Well, no, you can just say what you think. We're allowed to just say things. Yeah. And if you think treason should be more than the very narrow interpretation of a narrow definition in the Constitution that isn't really active anymore, well, then you should be able to say that. I mean, that's the point, right? We are supposed to be on some sort of venture towards self-governance. And I don't know, man, it seems like a lot of people don't really care that much about that. They just still want the people they like on TV to be declared the winners.
Yeah, and they just want to say the things that the people on TV say too. I did a test today, and this is a good transition into the Marjorie Taylor Greene subject, because as you all may have heard, she is retiring from Congress, and she's retiring early, but this is one of the things I keep seeing repeated. She is waiting long enough to get her pension vested or whatever, so she gets more money, which every single one of you would do the same exact thing. So, but it's really funny that everybody's freaking out. The reaction people are having. Let me just show the post I shared real quick. And I weirdly got a lot of traction on this. I think some people from Con Inc. even engaged with it. The Hodge twins shared it. That Sean Faresh guy commented on it. But check this out. Can somebody actually show me anything MTG has done to make her deserving of the label traitor, outside of Trump telling us that is what she is? Testing a theory here. And my theory going into this was, I'm going to see if anybody can put forth any talking point that is like unique or even just like showing me that they are thinking for themselves and not just like, oh, well, this is what, my favorite influencer over here said, so this is true. And it's like Nick Fuentes in the comments versus I don't even know. It's like all the people that are America first versus all the people that only say whatever Trump says all the time, and the people in that orbit. It's really weird. Like there's nothing different. It's either she's the most America first person we've ever had, she's the only one, and Trump is like sold out to Israel, or she's a traitor because she made more money in Congress and whatever, she betrayed Trump by calling him out, or I don't even know. It's so dumb. But that's it. There's nothing unique.
So it's funny though that is the response. That is the response the algorithm is helping to create, and we are right in the middle right now of this this multi-week op to let us know that MAGA is going to be divided and it's going to be dead. It's MAGA against America First. America First is going to leave MAGA behind and go on and conquer the Jews all on their own. It's so dumb. Like there are a number of groups that have glommed on to MAGA in the last 10 years. And the Con Inc. thing is one of them. The neocons and warmongers, the Zionists, Maha, what else? The Nick Fuentes, America First kind of thing. These are all groups. Ben Shapiro even used to say he was sometimes Trump. There are all these people who align with Trump and MAGA when it suits their needs. And then at all times, they're looking for these opportunities to say Trump is wrong here. We are still right. We agree with him when he's right, but then he starts being wrong. And so we're over here. You guys should come with us instead. And we've seen these over and over and over again. Those groups need MAGA and need Donald Trump and need his base. They need the American people. The American people and Trump and MAGA do not need those groups at all. Okay? Because we're not trying to win fake elections. The country is going in a direction together. And if we go successfully in that direction, winning fake elections is not going to be a concern.
I totally agree with you. And even people in the chat here, they're asking, okay, like somebody make this make sense. And admittedly, I don't know the whole MTG Trump split, which we've been talking about for a while. I will say one of the funnier things that she put in her little statement was that there's no 4D chess plan to save the world or something. Hysterical. I admittedly do not know, but you could look at this two ways. It's either genuine or it's kayfabe, right? Yep. If it's a genuine split, it's weird. It's weird to me. And Trump obviously knows something. There's something more here going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of, because surface level, what I've seen, I haven't seen anything personally that would make me believe that she's a traitor. But maybe Trump has, and maybe that's why the split happened. And maybe she's trying to, maybe she has bigger ambitions that Trump wasn't in approval of or something. I don't know. And I'll let you pass off to you in a second. But the kayfabe side of it, what I see is all those groups you just listed, the Nick Fuentes, the Ben Shapiro's, the America First, like little op that's going on trying to fracture MAGA. If you are Trump and you wanted to allow that op to play out only to not actually let it play out to its fullest, you almost sacrifice and in a sense crucify somebody that has been arguably the biggest MAGA supporter that you've had for a long time. You sacrifice that person to them and be like, here, you can have her now. We are at odds. She is the leader of your new America First party, only to have her bring everybody right back into MAGA later on. Like that could be the op play. Who knows? Total speculation.
Yeah. You asked what she's done to earn the title of traitor. I couldn't point anything out to you off the bat. Except for
Did she
the
tell
fact
the
that
military to follow unlawful orders?
I don't think so, but she is pretending to legitimately represent the American people in an illegitimate Congress with the full knowledge that she has no ability to justify her own legitimacy in office. That's a problem for me. And it doesn't have to be a problem for other people. Other people are more accepting of the televised government that we get to see in this daily reality show soap opera. I don't give any credit to that. I don't see her as being a person who has any accomplishments. She has only gone on television and said certain things. Are those always the right things? Well, no, they're not. So I don't have any reason to care what she has done in the first place. I don't care what her political future is. I don't care about wanting her to be our ruler in 2028. It's entirely possible that Donald Trump got wind that she was going to leave her seat in the fake Congress and run to be a fake senator in Georgia. And who knows, maybe they were building her up to that because people would think that she was legitimately MAGA. And then she takes a position where she has even more power to go against Trump. This is just speculation. I'm just proposing a hypothetical. Again, just a alternative possibility here. But I mean, this is something we talked about for years now. It's entirely possible that people are on board with the Trump thing for a time and they will ride it out to some point. And then past that point, they're not willing to go. And if they need to go past that point because that was why they were brought along, they're not willing to go there, he's going to cut them loose. I don't think Donald Trump owes Marjorie Taylor Greene anything. She got elected in Georgia in 2020 in a fake election that was most primarily fake in Georgia.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a great point. God, you said something there that I really wanted to comment on, but I don't remember now because I got distracted. I was looking for this clip from today
about what she had done being in the Congress.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll think about it while we think of it.
I'm having a Chris Paul moment. Remember when you went through a month?
Yeah, I had just a couple days there where I couldn't think of. Yeah, I just couldn't.
You couldn't think of your thoughts from 5 seconds prior.
It was so well, not even. Yeah, it was pretty nuts.
Yeah, but anyway, let me play this clip. This is from earlier today.
Are you willing to forgive Congresswoman Taylor Greene?
Where's that guy from? You forgive Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Are you willing to forgive Congresswoman Taylor Greene?
Forgive for what? No, I just disagreed with her philosophy. She started backing perhaps the worst Republican congressman in our history. Just stupid person named Massey. And I said, go your own way. And once I left her, she resigned because she would never have survived the primary. But I think she's a nice person.
Are you willing to
forgive her for what? You mean I did call her a traitor, but I don't need to forgive her for anything. We're fine. There was something else I saw, I think, on Twitter where he was like, oh gosh, now I can't think of this either. Dang it. What is going on with me tonight?
It happens, man. There's so many things to think about.
There is.
Plus, there's paying attention to what's going on external to the show. There's a lot of things to.
There is a lot of things. I've been doing a lot of homework lately. When I say homework, I'm the legal stuff for this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean by my homework. Bernie Bright, if the result of my first so far stroke was the driving horse, I think it was a pretty successful stroke. I might say a stroke of genius.
Second best stroke to our boy Frankenstein.
Our boy Frankenstein.
Yeah, Fetterman.
Oh yeah, that was a weird thing. But yeah, man, I don't know about I don't know this MTG thing. Everybody's losing their mind. Everybody's freaking out. Twitter is a shit show because of it. Everybody's emotionally reacting, and it just feels very much part of that the America First op that's been going on for like 3 weeks now. The timing of it is right in line with that. And if Trump is who we think he is, this is possibly something that's trying to break up the op to break up MAGA, but I don't know. And you can't operate assuming that's the case.
Yeah,
So we'll
and I
see
mean,
what happens.
we talked about this last week, but she launched a little press tour on mainstream left outlets.
Yeah, I did reach out to her team. I'm trying to get her on for an interview so I can ask her all these tough questions, but we'll see.
Yeah, that
Probably
would
won't
be
respond.
that would certainly be interesting.
Probably won't respond. It is funny, everybody freaking out about like her making more money being in Congress. Like, first, they all fucking do that. Like, why is that a problem? And Trump's worth more now. I mean, you get to Congress, you have a larger profile. The insider trading thing, if that's how she made more money, that's great. But that was like the number one comment I saw from people who was like, she's a traitor. Is her net worth is higher now than it was when she took office?
Well, I mean, if she's taking advantage of her position as a congresswoman to earn money she could have never made otherwise, I think that that's an issue. You know, isn't she one of the people that has been accused of like stock trading and stuff?
Yeah, a lot of them are doing
inside information. Yeah. So, but the fact that a lot of them are doing that is not an excuse for doing it.
Oh
right?
no, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all. But like in terms like Trump and his family, you know, you could look at them and make essentially the same argument.
Yep.
But nobody likes to do that. There's an account, like an AI account on Twitter, that it only matches the stock portfolios of certain Congress people, and it's got like a 200%. It's up 200% on the year or something crazy.
Wow.
Like ridiculous success rate. But yeah, so I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say on MTG? I cannot remember what I was gonna comment on.
No. I mean, it's all kind of silly to me. Are we going to talk about Mom Donnie?
Yeah, I do want to get to Mom Donnie.
The only other thing I thought about with MTG is Laura Loomer's freak out was multi-staged yesterday, and that I thought was particularly amusing.
I don't think I saw her freak out. I actually don't follow her on Twitter.
I think Ghost popped one of her posts up in his chat, and she just is basically like, "What's happening to the to MAGA? We're gonna lose in 2028." She was so mad at the Mom Donnie thing. I think
I'm sure it's in here somewhere.
I think I can probably find it even quicker because I posted about it as well. Here it is. I'll send this to you.
Okay.
There it is. That's one of them.
Okay. America's future doesn't look so bright. I'm not optimistic about what our country will look like in 2030. I'm going to be very honest. We have a lot of problems, and we only have less than a year to address them before Dems take the House. I'm not an optimist. That's right, this one.
Yeah.
I'm the realist, guys. She just hijacked me here. I did not co-found that word with her.
Mm-hmm.
That is not fair. And I plan on bringing civil action over this. But yeah, what a stupid post. No, everybody who talks about the midterms, not a single person talks about election fraud ever. Ever.
Yeah. Yeah. They pretend that the elections are real while knowing that they're not. And they believe that their solutions to all these problems are necessarily going to come from the state. So it has to be all about one party winning an election in a year or in 3 years. That is just straight up worship of the state.
Hasn't Laura Loomer had a ton of plastic surgery too? Are you allowed to call yourself a realist when your face is like fake?
Oh, that's messed up.
So I'm just looking at her, trying to find pictures. I don't know if half those pictures are Photoshop that you see of her floating around. Anyway,
future doesn't look so bright. Just 100% black pill and Laura Loomer.
Do you think she's as connected to Trump as she claims she is?
Of course not. No.
How does she get away with saying that? Like, just because very often she'll be like, I just got off the phone with Trump and, you know, he thanked me for my MTG stuff and all those things.
Maybe he has conversations with her. Maybe she calls the office and he takes phone calls. I don't know. I'm not sure that makes them close, or that would never convince me to believe that he's giving her like inside access to information.
Yeah.
I don't find her any more credible. I mean, and I'm not a hater or anything. I don't think that there's any reason or need to like beat up on her, but I mean, come on.
I just don't like her.
Oh, I honestly don't even care. Here's another one, by the way. That was her on Zelensky.
I think my biggest reason I initially didn't like her was she got caught stealing like even watermark stuff from smaller accounts and like passing it off. Like she'd do one of those things like, hey, set your alarms for 30 minutes from now. I got breaking news. And then she'd post something that somebody else, a smaller account, had posted before, as if she was like a source for it. And she'd like stamp her watermark over the top of their watermark. Just like that. I hate that behavior.
And if she calls it breaking news, that means no one else has seen it yet. And it'll seem like she's the one with all of the info. Yep.
Why did Zelensky receive a harsher welcome at the White House than Mondami? Did we check? You said you checked his
Yeah, his location. It said it didn't say a location.
Oh,
and I'm sure that Elon would say the official government accounts don't have that or something, but I don't know.
Those are the ones that should have it more than anybody.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah, his doesn't say.
Give it a try, though. Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, why did he receive a harsher?
It could be anywhere or nowhere.
Oh, so it's also stupid. But we're gonna have to go through next the list of accounts that are not in their country where they claim to be supporting or whatever. Why did Zelensky receive a harsher welcome at the White House than Mondani? Interesting. If socialists are doing a good job, then I guess nobody needs to vote them out during the midterms. If you're a Republican, why not just stay home in 2026 and 2028, since Mondani's policy are amazing? I'm confused. No need to oppose the left, I guess. I guess socialism is comfortable now. No need to vote for the GOP in 2026 is the message I'm getting from that. Am I missing something?
Yes, she is missing way too many things.
Besides half your brain.
No.
Is that too harsh? I don't care.
It's just not. I mean, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, this is crazy to me. I mean, her number one priority is a globalist Zionist state. She is a statist. That is, she's on the left. And like, isn't the whole point of all of this fighting the left so that we can win a fake election in 2026 and then in 2028? And there's people out there like, oh, MTG should be JD Vance's vice presidential candidate in 2028. Why would you make a decision for who should rule you 3 years from now when none of these people have done anything? It's crazy.
It is crazy. I still think Trump 2028 is the way to go.
For sure. I mean, if we're still doing elections and choosing presidents by then, yes.
That's a good point. Man, the thing I think about it when it comes to the midterms is like, we're really going to do another one of these. It's like it's a thought of partial depression and exhaustion, like for real, another one.
You don't want to get the hose again?
No, I'm sick of the hose. I can't handle the hose. People
still love it, I guess.
I don't. I do not like the hose.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either.
But I don't know, man. I feel like we keep pushing the issue. We keep trying to get our way out of this thing, but we're not pushing hard enough. I don't know.
People love voting hard. I wrote a thing on Substack this week.
Oh, that was great, by the way.
All the elections are fake. Oh, you read that? Cool.
Yeah, I did. It was really good.
Well,
actually, I don't know if I finished it. I think my kids interrupted me, but I was like halfway through and I was like, this is fire. And I told everybody on my show to read it. I do have to go back and finish that though. But great article. Yes.
Thank you. It'll be up in a few days for free. And right now it's just for paid subscribers. So, but I put the link in the chat. Anyway, the thing that I said in there and kind of, I feel like I'm going to have to repeat this 1,000 times. If our elections are legitimate, and they can confer legitimate power to governing authorities that then have the delegation of authority to actually put laws in place to rule us, well, then we should at least we should know that each part of the election is legitimate, which means we should be able to at least pick out one part of the election that we know to be legitimate. And the truth is that no one can do that. And I asked, I hope people will tell me one part of the election process that is legitimate in any way and therefore worthy of our trust and therefore can, confer legitimate authority. I'm never going to get an answer to that question because there's no one anywhere who is certain that even one aspect of our elections is legitimate.
Did you pass along to Seth Keshel?
I don't know if Seth has read it. I didn't make a point of sending it directly to him.
You should. I'm curious, like just be, somebody who's in that field or Ash or CanCon. I'm curious if they could say anything either. The hard part for me when it comes to like this stuff and how we get out of it, because everything you say, is right. Like a body of government that was not legitimately elected does not have the legitimate authority to enact our laws or hold you accountable for breaking them, because they themselves are breaking them just by being there. Like they're totally legitimate.
Totally lawless. Yep.
But here's the thing, like if you or I or any of these people watching, if we do things to go against that, like if we did stop paying our taxes or whatever, then that same illegitimate body comes after us for breaking the law that was we're being held accountable by an illegitimate power because not enough people recognize them as illegitimate. And it's like this cycle that we're going through. And I don't know. And this is, why these discussions are good. It's trying to figure out a way how we break out of it. I don't know what that looks like. Everybody has a different theory of why G money is probably most on the money. But I just don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to exactly say what it looks like. But if a government that is illegitimate is able to use state violence against the people, that is already authoritarianism. That is already tyranny. And that is the state that we are in right now.
Yep.
Someone got upset at me the other day for making this point, and they were like, well, you never present solutions. Why in the world would I start presenting solutions about how to fix our elections, our fake elections, when people won't even come to terms with the fact that they are fake? The problem is not fix voter ID, fix paper ballots, fix same-day in-person voting. That's not the problem. The problem is that people still think our elections are real and capable of conferring legitimate power. So they don't do anything about them. And they're not going to do anything about them until that understanding is widespread. Like that is foundational to any solution. At the point at which 80% or 90% of the country understood that our elections are fake, well, then you have a real opportunity to put a solution in place, because we can't go forward without a solution in place. That is us saying, look at all the leverage we have. We are withdrawing our consent in full. These elections don't mean anything. We need to get people on that page. The problem to be solved is convincing people of that. And so that's where our attention and focus and time and resources should be directed, not toward getting more people registered in some random ass county to elect some fake representative that doesn't represent us in the first place. So I don't know why I would start presenting solutions to various aspects of an election so that people can just argue and tell me that those aren't the right things to do. And that's how all our discussions are had, again, because of the intellectual kids table factor over on Twitter. It all devolves into the dumbest thing where everybody wants to cite authorities and tell everybody else that they're a little more right so they can win points on Twitter. It's also dumb.
It is dumb. Well, maybe it's a marketing issue. You are like the marketing mastermind. Maybe we need to come up with a different word or phrase or something that we can start making go viral so that people understand how fake and gay our elections are, because just calling them fake and gay and illegitimate and all those things, it's apparently not working, because we've been doing it for 4 years, and however far we've moved the needle, it has not moved it far enough or fast enough.
I would suggest there are fewer than 10 people who talk about this directly. And I think that's a big problem because
that's crazy.
The support system on our side defies the very basis of this and denies it all the time and tells people to go vote hard. So there is no solution that is possible if we remain committed to doing that. And the reason we remain committed to doing that is because people receive a great deal of power from the illegitimate government. We have a foreign occupying power that incentivizes our citizens to act in their favor rather than in America's favor. And people are content to keep doing that because they're getting paid.
It's insanity. And I have another thought here about the MTG thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we talk about Trump and the feedback loop type of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Because you just said, you know, Trump and those people, Trump and his people in his orbit, they are also the ones participating in the fraudulent election system. Now, why they're doing that, we don't know, because I also believe that they understand how fake and gay our elections are.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope that they're going to at some point help expose that. But until it happens, we're kind of on our own. Maybe this MTG thing or the Mondami thing is another feedback loop. Like, are these guys ready to think for themselves? Are these guys able to do anything? And I'm not just like speaking to you guys in the audience. I'm talking to us too, because I don't know what the hell's going on half the time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel retarded too. We're all retarded. But if we can't even talk about the elections being gay, how are we going to figure out, you know, MTG? If we can't think for ourselves in any of these instances or opportunities that are being provided to us, we're not ready. We are, we are only ready for the hose again.
Yeah. And we don't want self-governance because we wouldn't we wouldn't know what to do with it.
No, we wouldn't.
And, you know, the solutions only appear once many good, faithful, well-intentioned minds are working in the same direction to solve them. If we are working in the wrong direction to solve problems that are unsolvable until we reach something more foundational, we're wasting all our time and resources.
I'm seeing
and by the way, people are some random person is complaining in the chat that this breeds apathy. How retarded are these people? How long do we have to continue pretending that being honest about the true state of the world somehow breeds apathy? You know what breeds apathy? Politicians telling you that they're going to solve your problems if you just go down to the local school cafeteria and press buttons on an iPad attached to a black box. That breeds apathy.
What about trusting the plan? Everything is part of the plan.
Moronic.
That's a little apathetic too.
It's funny that MTG said that there was no plan and that no one is playing 4D chess.
But that is a calm to say that there is a plan and it's 4D and it's not even 4D chess, it's 4D chess. Like the 4 and the D combined is 40.
A double D.
Much higher dimensional. Yeah, 42 double D chess. It's quite large. Large chess.
So many dimensions.
Yeah, I don't know. Thomas Time says, if Trump wants to fulfill his promise, giving power back to the people, does he do that by holding our hand in a fake election or burning it all down to see if we can decide our fate for ourselves? And here's the thing.
I don't know if never mind. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know what's a scarier prospect, us going through another fake fraudulent election or two, or the current state of us getting actual free and fair elections of some sort and having to decide our fate ourselves, because I don't trust us with that either.
Well, it's also so weird because we can only picture our choices existing within the political spectrum as we understand it.
So true.
Which one of these representatives, these senators, these congressmen, would anyone ever elect again on purpose?
None of them.
I can't think of any.
Ron DeSantis, did you see what he posted today? Oh, see if I can find it. He posted something. Somebody made a post about our election, and he posted something. Here we go. Let me share this. So this guy, the founding fathers assumed that people would vote out bad politicians. Okay, let's go back even further. Dan Hill, presidents come and go, but a corrupt Congress is a long-term problem. Ron DeSantis says term limits. Michael Gianalis or whatever. The founding fathers assumed that people would vote out bad politicians. Unfortunately, these days, name recognition is more powerful than results, so the same people keep winning over and over. Then Ron DeSantis and incumbents hardwire the system from campaign finance laws to congressional franking privileges to make it difficult to defeat them, especially for renomination in a primary.
Term limits. Has Ron fixed elections in Florida? Has he ever mentioned problems with elections?
Well, we could probably do a search.
Yeah.
Election fraud. No results about election fraud.
Darn, that's
DeSantis.
just crazy. The governor of a state where there are countless claims of election fraud, if you want to go look them up. And I mean, people in our orbit certainly talk about election issues in Florida. And Ron DeSantis talks about the property tax thing. That's supposed to be put on the ballot for 2026. And so we're going to have a fake election. The voters are going to decide whether or not to tax themselves in a fake ballot measure election. Give me a break.
And you know that thing's going to, like, they're going to vote to tax themselves. Like, that's going to be the result, I'm sure.
That'll be what the result is announced at. Yeah.
Yeah, which would be ridiculous. Who would do that?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. You're making a great point. We need to talk about it more. We need to coin a new term. We coined Twitter scissoring last week, the scissoring thing. Mm-hmm. We need another one that we can make go viral other than just our elections are fake and gay, because it's falling on deaf ears.
Well, yeah, we don't need to say gay, just fake, because they're fake. Right. Like a real election requires real votes to be counted in the way they are cast, and then for the person selected to be placed in power. That's not how our elections work. Our elections are a system choosing who's going to win, and then us participating in a self-deluding psyop to confirm that their choice is acceptable to us.
It's also stupid.
That's not an election.
No.
That is a psyop. We are participating in a stage play, and we are giving them our time and money and every bit of our emotion and commitment so that we can fool ourselves.
I would love to have I wonder if I could figure out, or if we could figure out how much time we spend, like, emotionally, and myself is included in this too. I'm not picking on anybody. How much time we spend emotionally responding to things on Twitter that are totally meaningless because of our elections.
Well, not even just because of that, because Twitter is driven on sparking people's emotions for engagement.
Yeah, all of it.
And much of it is fake news. Twitter is the mainstream media. It is an interactive mainstream media outlet.
Well, we should go through these.
Yeah.
Speaking of Twitter being mainstream media thing, X launched a feature on Saturday displaying approximate countries or regions for accounts using data like IP addresses and sign-up locations to promote transparency. It uncovered many pro-Trump profiles and others pushing political or crypto narratives from abroad, alongside some left-leaning ones from Canada and the UK. X paused it briefly due to privacy concerns and inaccuracies. Funny. Then reinstated it while exempting government accounts, which is weird, because if anything, those are the ones that you know should be the most transparent, because they're clearly going to be in the country of origin, right? The tool adds a layer of scrutiny amid worries about online impersonation, though VPNs can still mask locations. Ultra MAGA Trump 2028, Nigeria.
That's a big deal that account is from Nigeria. Who the hell is that?
I don't know. It's probably got. Let me see.
The account's brand new. Oh, no, sorry. Verified since November 2025. So it's a year old, year and a half old.
How do you spell the guy's last name? Albrecht. He's probably got like only 16,000 followers. Mm-hmm. That is a small one. I know. What's the guy's name? The Asian guy who got that cement frappuccino thrown at him.
Oh, geez. I don't know.
Somebody in the child know what I'm talking about. It's a guy who like covers all the Antifa stuff.
Oh, Andy, no.
Oh, yep.
There we go. Yeah.
This guy was doing a thread of these.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yep. Izana Speaks is Pakistan. Mega Scope, 51,000 followers.
How many? Oh, 51.
Nigeria. MAGA Nation, 400,000 followers. Eastern Europe. Trump Army, 590,000 followers. South Asia, maybe India. Ivanka News, 1 million followers. Nigeria. This is so stupid how many people fall for some of these accounts. Monetized anti-Trump Democrat influencer Ronnie X claims to be based in New Jersey, but it's run out of Kenya. America First account is Bangladesh. It's crazy. You had some good ones too. What was the one that you did?
Well, Ian Miles Chong is from United Arab Emirates, or, you know, and who knows, maybe they just set up these accounts there years and years ago and have moved many times since. People say he's in Malaysia. He's clearly not an American. Mario Nawfal is also clearly not an American. He sounds like a British man, but his location was West Asia. I have no idea what that means. Elon promotes these people heavily. They are foreign propagandists who our leading military contractor reposts nonstop as to tell people what's happening in the world, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. I wonder where this guy's from. India. Trump reposts him all the time. What's another good one?
Well, you know, we should talk about Maria Corina Machado, because they found out that she is in the United States. Venezuela's supposed opposition leader, the woman who was awarded the absolutely worthless Nobel Peace Prize a few weeks ago. Her account is located in the United States.
How do you spell her name again?
I think it's Maria Corina YA, but I could be wrong. Corina. Am
I spelling this right?
No, there's no N in the first. It's Maria, not Marina. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, check this out. United States. She's just a CIA asset. Yeah. Crazy.
That is crazy.
I want to see who else some of these accounts are, that, because, you know, there's like 10 or 15 of these that Elon Musk reposts all the time. And they're all, you know, anonymous. I want to see where else they're from. I got Doge Designer. That's India.
I suppose you could probably just pull up Elon's following, right?
The rabbit hole. Oh, okay, that's the United States. Yeah, I probably could just go through his following. You're right. How many does he follow? Oh, he follows quite a bit.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is the way.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
Whatever. I'll do this later, but it seems like a lot of work.
Probably entertain yourself a little bit by.
But it is crazy. Like, these are the people that are these are the voices that are getting promoted the most. They're the most heavily incentivized to post garbage and distract us and all these things. They're influencing whatever Twitter politics is, and Twitter is used as it's almost the false consensus that everybody uses, the mainstream media uses, you know, to drive whatever narrative they want to push. When somebody steals an election, everybody's freaking out on Twitter and telling us why that happened. It's because the wine moms didn't show up enough and Scott Presser didn't register enough voters, right? All that stuff is being reinforced on Twitter. And it turns out a lot of the people doing that reinforcement are not even from America and have actually no vested interest in how anything in our country actually turns out. They just want the drama so they can make more Twitter money.
So that would then, if you were reposting those people constantly, you would have a specific motivation for doing that. And it's not because you were trying to drive the world's greatest truth machine.
No, it would not be that.
It's very strange what happens over there in the echo chamber of Twitter, and the fact that Grok is just a constant recycling of all the retardation and noise on that platform.
It is. And I think it was Grok the other day. I asked like a question about Thomas Massey. Yeah, because Thomas Massey passed his Epstein bill or whatever. And I had the post where I was just trying to get my math right. Like, how long has Thomas Massey been in office? And it was, you know, 157 months. And then, okay, how long did it take for him to get remarried after his wife died? It was like 4. And I was just, okay, do the math. And so it took him 100 and whatever months longer to pass his first bill as a congressman than it did to get remarried after his wife died. They got the math wrong. Like Grok got math like 157 minus 14. It gave me the wrong answer. And it was off by like 20 or 30. It's like, you realize that number's wrong. I can do that in my head. It's like, oh yeah, you're right. I don't know how that happened. Like, what?
Every time you correct it like that, it's always so funny. I mean, I don't use Grok. I use ChatGPT, but
yeah, but still,
yeah,
it's just concerning.
Well, yeah. I mean, it should be concerning. Also, it should be a reminder that the internet is not a source for truth.
Have you heard of the Go or the Olama AI? So. It's like and I'm probably going to butcher this, but it's a type of AI where you can get access to any other AI. Like you can get access to uncensored type AIs and like kind of build your own little AI thing off of it. I think that's my understanding. It was just explained to me today while I was doing my homework. So
that does sound familiar. Yeah, I guess maybe that'll be the way of the future or something. I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway, there's another thing I wanted to.
We should pull that for the soundboard, by the way. Did you ever see the movie The Aviator?
I don't think it is. Was that about a pilot?
It's about Howard Hughes, who is a pilot, or was a pilot, but also designed aircraft, including like massive, like military style jumbo jets and stuff. But toward the end of the film,
Leo DiCaprio.
Yep. Toward the end of the film, he's like kind of losing his mind, and he just keeps like repeating the way of the future, the way of the future.
No, I don't think I've actually seen that movie, but I'm aware of it. But hold on, there was another topic I wanted to get. Oh, we never really got into Trump Mondami because this is funny.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like the Twitter news cycle right now would have you believing, or is telling us that Trump has a better relationship with a communist than he does with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and that's just hysterical to me. But let's show a couple of these clips. Let me find this first one here. Hold for processing. Here we go. Oh, you know what? Before I do this, I got to remember to do our other sponsor. Let me do that real quick.
Make it happen.
Before I forget. Might even do two here, depending on how Rumble Studio's doing tonight. Do doctors have Black Friday sales? Because the doctors at Brickhouse Nutrition do. Do I have the right ad up? I do. Okay. They just announced their Black Friday 30% off sale, the biggest sale of the year. The most impressive health and nutrition products in the industry. Now 30% off, like Lean, the doctor-formulated weight loss supplement for people who want to lose meaningful weight without the injections, and 30% off creatine designed just for women to help you look leaner, in shape, and toned without extra dieting or exercise, and even 30% off Field of Greens, the only superfruit and vegetable drink shown in a university study to actually slow aging. And only Field of Greens promises better health results your doctor will notice. Every Brickhouse product, from better sleep to superior collagen, is 30% off. But hurry, because these Black Friday deals go fast. Visit brickhousesale.com and save 30%. That's brickhousesale.com. Again, one more time, brickhousesale.com. And then let me see if Rumble Studios got anything for us. We got crypto or Rumble Premium. We'll do one of each of these. We'll do one now, one later. Let's do crypto.com first, since crypto is hot right now. Good time to buy. Everything's down. Bitcoin's going to zero, I've been told. So
yeah.
Fun to watch, fun to experience. Let's be clear. Cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It is here. And this latest move cements that reality in the biggest way yet. Trump Media Group just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Crypto.com, the world's top crypto platform. They're teaming up to scoop up $6.4 billion in CRO, the powerhouse token that fuels fast, low-fee DeFi, staking rewards, and real-world perks like cash back on your spends to launch America's first CRO treasury. When it's done, the new company will be the biggest CRO holder out there. If you want on the action, head to Crypto.com today and grab some CRO. Let's make crypto great again. I do have some CRO. I bought it. It went up right after the announcement of the deal. It's gone way down since. But I feel like once that deal is finally done, it'll probably be good. Have they implemented the stuff on Truth Social yet where they're going to like incentivize?
They have definitely done some sort of like gem thing where you can collect gems for posts, but I think you have to be like signed up to a premium service on there or something. I don't know.
Wow. We got
it's not fully going yet.
We got some new Trump True Social posts. He's probably watching our show and disagreeing with me. Take a look at this.
Disagreeing with me.
No,
wow.
The traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now, not roaming the fake news networks trying to explain that what they said was okay. It wasn't and never will be. It was sedition at the highest level, and sedition is a major crime. There can be no other interpretation of what they said. And he does it again.
I like that.
Many great legal scholars, like Chris Paul, agree that the Democrat traitors told the military to disobey my orders as president have committed a crime of serious proportion. Damn.
Take it. Sounds like we're going to get another day of that tomorrow, where all the Sunday morning talk shows are freaking out about Trump's posts. And so then it'll make its way through another viral news cycle. Yep. And hopefully it'll be productive. I mean, I'm still optimistic about this strategy working.
If anything, it's entertaining to watch because everybody freaks out, and then Trump gets asked the question, like, do you really want to hang those people? Like, no, I don't. I think they're great. I don't think they should die or whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure that was the comment. Trump clarified he does not want to hang his political opponents or something.
He also didn't, like, he just reposted somebody's post, and he'll do that. He'll repost like 40 dumb memes that like bot accounts posted in his comments.
Yeah.
I can't believe people still take that as seriously as they do.
Well, he did retweet the Devolution Power Hour once, and that was the only time it should be taken seriously. Every other time doesn't really matter. It's just his tweets.
Well, I mean, it's harder to take it seriously just because I wasn't on that one. So
that's true. That's true. Maybe you guys got to go tag him in get him to retweet or repost whatever it's called in True Social, retruth one of these DPHs. That's what we need him to do. Just put in there like, these people need to be hanged. Watch the show, and then see if he retweets it.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll go ahead and get in trouble.
Yeah,
sounds cool.
I mean, we just did blackface last night. Like we're already in trouble.
It's so great. We were talking about the Media Matters thing last week, and it's like, if we do all the things, they can say like, oh, they did this and they did this and they did this. And it's just like, okay,
we don't
now
care.
what? Yeah.
How can we take this even further?
Yeah.
I wonder what the worst thing we could do in advocacy of free speech and being American citizens that would really piss. I mean, we've got the Jews thing covered with Ghost.
I think that there's far more dangerous ways to approach that than straight at it, and disrupting the history that we have been taught about the divide. It's not that it's that the history we've been taught, the way we've been taught it, is wrong, and instead the other guys were the good guys. It's that both sides of the controlled opposition dynamic, as it's been relayed to us as a correct history, are wrong. And it's actually something else.
I totally agree. And
talk about the other thing that it is, well, then that's a lot more difficult.
Ghost is on a show called Breaking History, so he should be doing that. I don't watch the show often because it airs during like my prep time for my show, but
they're breaking history.
I think I would assume so.
Yeah.
That's the title. If I'm taking it literally, I'm assuming that's what they're doing. But yeah, I'm all about pushing that line. So
but
there's anything else you can think of?
The last point to make with that, though, is like we can see right now that the thing that we are told is the most dangerous thing, which is being aggressively anti-Jewish online, is actually not suppressed at all. In fact, it is amplified by the machine on purpose. And you can see that there are coordinated. You can see that there are coordinated messaging ops behind it. You can see that virality is enabled for all of that content. They've been doing it now for well over a year, maybe considerably longer. And it's no surprise that at the same time, from the quote unquote other side of that controlled opposition, you have a decade's worth of them calling Trump Hitler and MAGA Nazis. And you can go back and do I had a post about this at the beginning of the week. You can go back and do the parallels along the timeline from the rise of the Weimar Republic through World War II. And it layers almost exactly onto the 16-year plan of Obama and Hillary, which would take us to this here period right now, where that would be the beginning of that Nazi era in Germany. And so you can just layer those timelines on, and you can see that back then we're told that like the Nazis were this violent reaction to the Weimar Republic. No, they're not. They're just a controlled opposition in Germany at that time. And then the op got spun in a certain direction, and the same story is being retold right now. And like, that's the sort of thing that makes this, understanding that makes this current version of that story not work. And that's a big problem.
That is very interesting. I haven't thought about that before. You know, I always complain about the censorship and how, you know, we don't get any actual even playing field or anything, but the people that are, you know, speaking whatever the regime wants to hear get promoted. And I don't know how, but I've never thought about how the super anti-Jewish stuff is some of the most viral stuff that's out there.
Yep.
And how that is part of the controlled oppo dynamic. And that was just like a light bulb moment for me.
Yeah. And I mean, it's historically part of the controlled opposition, and you can see how and why it's part of the controlled opposition. These people are globalists. These people are pushing Zionism. The Nazis were partners with the Zionists to create Israel. I mean, you can, there are like coins and stamps and stuff with both the Star of David and the swastika on them.
That's crazy.
I mean, you can read the transfer agreement. We've talked about this a number of times, and I don't want to go all the way back through it, but it is in currently the 7th edition, which means in the 40 years that book has been out, it has been revised 6 times to make sure that it's 100 pages longer. A history book is 100 pages longer. They found out new things, I guess. They had to revise the story so that they could like stave off what that story actually means when anybody comes to reckon with it.
Can you find the first edition of the book still?
I have the PDF of the 3rd edition, and that's the one that I read. I actually went on eBay to see if it was possible to find first editions, and I did not have luck doing that. I tried one time and have not tried again. So I can't say that there aren't versions out there. I just couldn't find them.
And you're talking about this book, right? Edwin Black?
Edwin Black, The Transfer Agreement. Yes.
And this is the 3rd edition too, I think. Does it say on there?
I don't know.
March 2002. What's this one? This is January 2023, the 25th anniversary edition.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. You think this book is worth reading?
I think that book is one of those books like Our Secret Constitution that absolutely everybody should read, because we know we are lied to all the time right now. There's fake news all the time.
Yeah.
There has always been fake news, and we have always been lied to about what's going on in the world. And because our history is the amalgamation of fake news of the past, we have to then understand that we've been lied to about our history. And it turns out we've been lied to about the same by the same people about our history for the exact same reasons in the exact same ways. And knowing that, we have these historical events that are part of our history and how we understand ourselves. And many of those things are lies from a very foundational level. And so to read like the purest form of that bullshit, of the cover story, to say, don't look over here, it's actually not as it appears, it's this other way, let us explain it to you, it's a little complicated, you're just going to have to trust us. When we go through these things, when we go back and look at these things and try to apply what we know now to what we can read about that time, man, I think you have to like really be able to set some of these, the Civil War and World War II in particular, you have to like set them in a more proper context because it is nuts. Is this the first edition?
This might be the first edition.
So yeah, I would then recommend reading that one rather than the edition.
But some pages are omitted.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
That is kind of incredible, actually.
On an archive site. This is archive.org. I've never seen.
Wow.
Limited previews. Use your free account to borrow this book and gain access. Just give me the fucking book. That is crazy. But I'll post this link in the chat for if anybody wants to get past the paywall or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, I've posted the PDF in my Telegram chat a number of times. Anybody can go get the 3rd edition PDF in there. And you can also go in that Telegram channel and just search transfer agreement and see a number of excerpts and commentary from me about that book. But there are paragraphs in that book. The moment I picked it up, reading the very first chapter, I was like, wait, what? That's not what I was told in school. And it's just that throughout the entire thing.
Insane.
Yeah.
Okay. Have we done Mondami yet? I haven't done that yet.
No. Well, I mean, here's a good link. You could just play the fascist clip first off that.
Yeah, this one right here.
He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
He asked...
I think that's so great.
You can just say yes. It's okay. But hey, Trump called him a communist. Fair is fair.
Yeah.
All's fair.
And that's great, isn't it? Like, Trump called him a communist. He called him a fascist. Now they ask, Trump doesn't even bat an eye. He doesn't freak out. He's not worried about what Mamdani might say. He's like, oh, just go ahead. Like, it's easier than trying to explain to these people what these words mean, how people use them, who we actually are, why these things get said. He didn't care at all because the word has lost its importance.
All meaning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, once. So when you like erase, when you remove a solid definition of a word and you make it mean multiple things, and then people come to understand it doesn't mean those things, the word loses all its power. Its power is built up in that abstraction layer where it's just something false layered onto the baseline definition. And that's what it's become, all these words. And so also you'd have to deal with the other part of this, as we just mentioned with Weimar and the NSDAP. The communists and fascists, we're told, are the opposite ends of the spectrum. Communist is far left, fascist is far right. But no, they're not.
It is crazy how history has been completely, totally warped.
Yeah.
And we have so many problems. I'm just thinking about this. We're never going to be able to like re-educate people. And I did use that word on purpose. We're never gonna be able to re-educate people on all this stuff while simultaneously fixing the problems we have right in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Even though both those things, fixing the problems probably comes with a little bit of like people understanding that their history has been totally warped, probably goes hand in hand. But it seems like such a daunting task.
Yeah, it does. It does. But you know, when you let go of all that stuff, and I mean, this is primarily what I've been writing about now for a couple of months.
Yeah.
When you let go of all of that stuff and understand that we actually have been lied to about a great deal of the things that we think we know. We've been brainwashed and we've been conditioned to believe certain things. And when we're able to let go of that and focus only on the underlying foundational truth, which, as we've talked about a number of times, including at GART, is just God is the existence of God. That is the thing that we know. That is the only thing that we have access to. And then everything else should be held in comparison relative to that and be judged relative to that. And we can try to then build a world out from there. And we find that we have our physical reality around us, our friends and family who are close to us. A layer out from that, we have a community. Perhaps outside of that, we have a state and then a country and whatever. But there's a very limited scope of things that you are then forced to confront as your very local reality, rather than this illusion that we understand what's going on the other side of the world because we can turn on CNN or open up Twitter. All of that stuff is nonsense. And when you get rid of that, things actually start making sense in an entirely different way. And you just realize that a lot of that knowledge is totally superfluous and that you can't prove any of it's true. And so why would you then build your life around a bunch of stuff that you don't even know?
Yeah, it's very well said, man. Brilliant. I do want to play a couple clips about Mondami and like some of the social media responses to it. Some of these I'm not going to play the full clips of, but here's Tucker. And this is not necessarily Tucker responding to Trump and Mondami at the White House, because there's its own separate, people freaking out about that. But Tucker's talking about the affordability stuff.
Byproduct. But there's another factor that's never mentioned, and that's debt. Young people are totally in hock. They are completely indebted. They have student loans. They were required to get a degree, or told they were required to get a degree to get some job that no longer exists because it's been eliminated or H-1B'd or whatever. The jobs aren't there. Unemployment among recent college grads.
Yeah, this one's too long. There's another one here, though. The unaffordability crisis, all these things. And then it's just interesting to me. Like, Trump is talking, the freak out about Mondami winning is totally about the economic stuff. Trump is in the White House. He's, implementing this golden age. It's taken up some time, but one of the biggest criticisms of Trump, and one that I've even levied myself, is that, he's saying all these things, but it's not reflecting in my personal reality. Like, I don't see prices change, whatever. And so it is interesting to see this dynamic, not just that Trump took this meeting, he took it head on, flaunted it, and was like in such a good mood and goofing off about it. Like, the optics of this are interesting to me, even if I don't fully understand why yet. I'm curious to see how his relationship with Mondami or Mamdani develops, and if changes are, we say our boy mom or whatever, you say that. Is he actually going to implement his agenda, in a sense, through the communist in New York, or is he going to let it totally go off the rails?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to make people confront these issues about which ones are right and left and what right and left mean. Because again, right and left is just a controlled opposition dynamic. There's nothing real about that. And we don't actually have a right. We only have a left. Okay. Everybody, all of the political factions are collectivist and statist. So, we're just arguing about various brands of the same version of global leftism.
Here's a good clip. Oops, that's not it. I mean, that is a good clip,
that is a good clip, though.
Not what I wanted to show. Oh, Scott Adams. Trump made Trump the interesting person in the story. Nobody else could do that. There's no normal politician who could have Zoran. I don't even know how to say his first name. At the peak of his being interesting. I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Here's the persuasion lesson for you. Have you noticed that Trump is consistently able to be the most interesting person in every story, especially if it's a story he has some control over? How in the world?
I feel like he's kind of copying your lightning rod thing here. Did you trademark that?
No, but I did at least co-found it.
You did co-found it. That's true. Weird background too, streaming from a garage. Not even attempting to put a background on there. Didn't he? Whatever happened with his cancer thing, by the way?
I don't know.
Wasn't that like a couple weeks ago?
Still crushing it. Trump gave him some right to try treatment or something.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll let this play out.
Could Trump become the most interesting person in this story? Because Zoran, he's the it guy, right? He literally is more interesting than Trump, just in this narrow domain. Do you think Trump wants to bring in a guy who's got as much game as Trump does, ish, not as much, but that he's operating at that highest level of persuasion? Do you think Trump wanted to bring him in and sort of make him the star? Maybe not. So if you were Trump, how could you guarantee that without looking like a giant dick, you could also claim all the attention? Well, how about acting like you're Zoran's best friend and playing opposite of type to the point where it's all you want to talk about? Wait a minute. I didn't think Trump would do this. Wait a minute. With that other leader, he did this. Wait a minute. He could have done this. Wait a minute. Is it just because he likes New York? Wait.
And this is the part I want to play, because I did think it was interesting, thinking of the lead up to the meeting and how Trump has handled other people in the Oval Office. He takes them into that room, sits them down, brings all the reporters in. He's not been afraid to be best bros with the people that he's doing these huge economic deals with. He calls out the Nigerian prince, puts this or the Nigerian leader, whatever, puts the TV there and shows all these atrocities. Is like, hey, mofo, look what you guys are doing down there. Stop doing that. Like, he's not afraid to approach people that he is at odds with, and show them that he's at odds with them, and show us he's at odds with them. He'll go directly after reporters too, and he's sitting up there with this communist. He endorsed Cuomo over him, and they're best bros. And the way that the media is responding to it when they were totally expecting something completely different is kind of funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it. Also, it's possible that Mamdani was, I mean, clearly in one way or another, elevated and then installed. And if that dude is willing to execute the plan and was put in a position that would be believable for New York, that is going to work for the story needs on what they're trying to communicate to the American public, if he's committed to the plan, Trump could be perfectly happy with him and be like, listen, I don't believe in anything this guy says as far as politics are concerned, but he's an honest player right here, and he's going to do the things I need. And the things that I don't need him to do, well, he can try to do the things that he said he was going to do in his campaign, and we'll see if the people like them. We'll see if the people take him seriously. I mean, I don't know what Trump's job is beyond that when it comes to governing the city of New York.
That's a good point. And honestly, at this point, should we be taking any politician based on what they say anyway? Like, we don't get to elect these people anyway.
There's only two agendas.
What was that?
There's only two agendas. We always hear this conversation about policies, but there really is not any policy choice. The policies that get put in place are the ones aligned with the agendas, and then the people and corporations, the entities, the philanthropists, et cetera, who have the resources to influence those agendas in their own personal favor. So it's either you want that system or you want something that resists that system. That's the only choices there.
Yeah, but I'm saying more so in terms of like every politician comes out there and says these things that sound super nice. They say they feed your confirmation bias. That's what they do. Mm-hmm. And they only do it so that they can pretend that they got elected because they said all the nice things and everybody wants those nice things. But none of those people actually follow through and do those nice things that you actually expected them to do. Like, it literally doesn't matter what any of these people say. They only say it for the TV so that the TV will reflect it to the voters later. Be like, see, he said the things and this is why you voted him. That clip of Mamdani repeatedly, or he was the only New York mayor candidate or whatever, who's like, I'm not going to go to Israel. I'm going to stay in New York, which that was a pretty based response, something you'd expect from your mayor of New York, not everybody going, to the Jew thing when that's the hot topic right now. And they're like, this is why I got elected. Is he actually going to do it? Who knows?
I don't know. Well, yeah. And then there's the thing about he's going to go along with the International Criminal Court and have Netanyahu arrested if he comes. The
mayor of New York said he said that.
That's like one of the things that they've been questioning him on and freaking out about. Yeah, so there was a freak out coming from both sides on that meeting yesterday. And again, these both sides are not the good side and the bad side. They're two sides they're two brands of controlled opposition within the bad side.
It's so stupid.
So it's really just the bad side freaking out about it.
It really is. It's true. Last thing I wanted to go through tonight, man, is the 28-point peace, or however many points it is, whatever that peace plan is, for Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
Because there's some sovereignty stuff in there that I'm questioning if the people who put this plan together really know what sovereignty means, because there's some contradictions. Unless you want to talk more about Mamdani, if you had anything else.
I just thought it was an interesting dynamic between the two of them. Trump, I mean, if you're going to take him at his word and believe that he was authentic, and I think it's at least worth thinking about it and analyzing it from that perspective, it looks like he was pleasantly surprised with the meeting. He seemed warm and happy and affectionate. And that I said yesterday, he's like the narrative jujitsu master. He's putting these people into these various holds that they can't extract themselves from. Yeah. And I think that that's a unique talent. And you have to be very familiar with the story and what the boundaries are and what all of these various sides' interests are, so that you can balance all those interests against them. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I always say you should never take Trump at face value.
Sure.
And the reason I say that is because we always know that he's like conducting some sort of narrative warfare and psyops and whatnot. And at a moment in time like this, when we're told, I don't necessarily believe any of it, but we're told that Trump is polling at the lowest he's polled ever.
And he's
Trump
saying the highest.
He's saying the opposite. Yeah. But we're told on Twitter, and everybody's freaking out about and giving explanations as to why. And it's all these, this laundry list of things. It would have been a perfect opportunity to have somebody go to the White House and be like the face of opposition to Trump. Like, I'm standing up to Trump, huge conflict, all these things. And Trump totally blew up that up. If that's what they were trying to do too. Like, there's two ways to look at everything. If they either were best bros and like just got them broing out for a little bit, or Trump just like totally blew up the op. Either way, Trump had every reason to be jovial as he was.
Yeah. Well, we also had a day before that, Nick Fuentes put out a clip talking about how he wanted to join with the left. He was like, we'll take the populists. Yeah, we'll take the populists on the left and they'll join our America First thing. And we're going to lead that forward. And that sounds like the sort of op that would have been set up and scripted for a long time. I don't take that as something that's particularly pro-Trump, but if there was anything going on with that, he certainly cut it off at the pass.
Is that this clip?
Could be.
Nick Fuentes says the GOP must be destroyed and replaced by a left-right populist coalition. I want to listen to a little bit. I haven't actually watched this yet.
Sure.
It's time to pound our fist on the table and say, it's our way or the highway. You've enjoyed the power and privileges for long enough. Where's ours? Where's our end of the bargain? So I love it. It's time to undermine the GOP. I said it in 2020. The GOP must be destroyed. Has to be utter. And yeah, they're going to say he's a Democrat. He wants the GOP to be destroyed. The GOP serves the interests. The GOP, as presently constructed, serves the interests, the special interests, the donors. Everybody knows that. It serves Silicon Valley and little tech. Palantir, Tesla, SpaceX, Anduril, Oracle. It serves Wall Street. That's why Ken Griffin gave them millions of dollars. It serves Miriam Adelson and the Israel lobby. This is who they work for. This is who selects the cabinet. This is who makes the policy. That's why they cut the corporate tax rate and they did nothing else. That's why they're shielding illegal immigrants from deportation as long as they're working on farms or on construction sites or in hospitality. That's why they're still providing for H-1B visas. That's why they're still providing for Chinese students. That's why they back down on the tariffs. That's why they back down on everything.
Does he ever talk about election fraud?
I have never heard him do that. He talks about elections and their importance a whole lot. And he talks about the results as though all of them are real. He operates at the same speed on the timeline as the mainstream media does. I mean, I don't know why people take this seriously, to be honest.
Because he says things that people think sound good.
Yeah, and he's thrown in people's faces all the time. Like they are making him a thing. It is very similar to the Candace Owens origin story and her fallout with the Daily Wire, at least how Fuentes himself described it on Tucker's show. There's been a lot of effort to make him a thing and to make it like he leads this America First movement. Well, where is his movement?
Yeah, I don't know. But I was told by Dave Smith that pretty soon I'm going to become like Candace. I'm going to become a black woman. And I'm kind of looking forward to what comes with that, I think. I think that'll be, the reparations that I'm entitled to. That'll be fun. Get to wear blackface and be like racist without getting in trouble. Like there's some bennies.
Yeah, and then the French government is going to try to have you assassinated.
Yeah, but that's only because I called their first lady or whatever they just a first dude.
Yep.
Has a penis, which I am an expert at knowing who has the he-who's and ha-has or whatever you say.
Yeah. I mean, you get it right almost 100% of the time.
Almost 100%. There was that one time, but that I don't like to talk about the time, so we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, no one wants to.
We'll just refer back to it in this moment. Okay, let's talk about the peace plan. Because I don't want to listen anymore, Nick Fuentes. Ukraine's sovereignty will be confirmed. Number one item on the list.
Mm-hmm.
What that means, nobody knows. They don't define it. They don't define what sovereignty means. And if anything, they go through this peace plan and basically strip their sovereignty away. That like this whole thing is a sovereignty just deconstruction list. But it's hilarious. This is the peace deal that we're allegedly getting that Ukraine had no part in making, whatever Ukraine even is. It's definitely not a sovereign country right now. It's a hub of corruption. NATO had no part of this either. There was rumors that today I saw that like somebody said Russia just made the plan and gave it to us, but then later it was reconfirmed by a different I mean, the whole story behind it, I don't know what's real, but anyway, this is the list we're working with. But there's a line in here. Well, let's start with this one. The size of Ukrainian armed forces will be limited to 600,000 personnel. And Chris, I have a question. When it comes to like a sovereign nation, is this country really sovereign if they don't get to determine the size of their own armed forces?
Yeah, I mean, that is a good rhetorical question. There is no way you can be a sovereign country if you can't decide your the size of your military. Then you are a vassal state at that point. And maybe part of the model going forward in the world is vassal states with a significant degree of sovereignty just by virtue of the fact that they cannot defend themselves. And so I don't want to totally dismiss anything to have to do with that. But yeah, no, that's not sovereign. I will say about the Ukrainian sovereignty, though, if you consider Ukraine to be a land that has been occupied by the same foreign power that occupies our land and our government, to have that thing removed from our country would be a confirmation and a return to our sovereignty. So to that extent, from the United States and Russia's perspective, removing that global element from Ukraine does actually return to them their sovereignty in some regard.
In some regard, but it would be interesting if we remove the global regime from Ukraine, when I would make an argument that we have not yet removed it from ourselves.
That's true. Yeah, I agree with you that we have not removed it from our country.
So I feel like that'd be a little silly of us to do. But anyway,
it could be one of those things where this is just the deal that they have set up for a long time as part of the 2030 agenda, and we're all getting massively hoodwinked and being dog walked into dystopia. I mean, that's possible. I don't think that's the case, but it's possible.
Yeah, I don't think it's the case either. But again, possible. I did think this was interesting. And pretty much everything I'm highlighting here is just pointing out the hypocrisy of number one being they're sovereign, but here's all the reasons they're not sovereign. Ukraine agrees to enshrine in its constitution that it will not join NATO, and NATO agrees to include in its statutes a provision that Ukraine will not be admitted in the future. So we are instilling something in a sovereign nation's own constitution, something that they can't do, which it's like, you know, back in the day, France, after we, you know, won the revolution, being like, we know you guys are sovereign, but make sure you put this in your constitution, you know, that because that's what sovereign people do. They get told what they're allowed to do.
Yeah. I mean, the Constitution at that point would not be coming from the people. If the Constitution is not even coming from the people, you can't really pretend it's a democracy in any real way. It's funny. CNN had a headline, I think it was 2 days ago, covering this, like when the story was, you know, first quote unquote breaking. And they were like, Trump is giving Russia everything they want in Ukraine. Well, first off, it's not Trump giving it to them, is it? I mean, Ukraine and Russia, we're told, have been fighting in a war, and Ukraine has not made any headway in that war at any point in almost 4 years. So how could it possibly be true that Trump is giving away all these things? That doesn't even make sense. What leverage does Ukraine have?
Zero.
Yeah.
They don't even get to decide what's in their peace plan, but they're super sovereign. Honestly, I just wish they would take this first line out. That's the only line that bugs me. Like the rest of this would make total sense, whatever, but it's all in contradiction to this first line, which is what I'm having an issue with. Not that it matters, but anyway.
I mean, you're right.
Well, I know. I typically am. No, just kidding.
Yeah, you have a very good record.
It's not that great. It's a record though. It's a record-breaking record. The U.S. NATO agrees not to station troops in Ukraine, but they can put them in Poland. So now NATO's being told what to do. NATO's being put in the corner. Here's all the U.S. guarantee, like, okay, well, if you guys, if you break the deal, we're going to do this, but if you break the deal, we're going to do this or not do this. They are eligible for EU membership, and they'll get some access to the markets. This is the part that I don't like. I mean, whatever. I don't know if I like any of it really, but this is the part that really is, okay, we're just, we've been talking about taking the global regime out of Ukraine. Like, we're going to give them their sovereignty. We're going to do all these things, but then we're going to put a new development fund to invest in their infrastructure. We're going to take over their gas infrastructure. We're going to do all these things. The World Bank is going to get back involved. The IMF, like, that has been the reason the country has been so corrupt for however long. It's all these, it's number 12 here is a list of just, we're going to get right back to business as usual in Ukraine. I don't expect anything to be any different over there, because this part to me is just repackaging the same thing that we've had before. I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you nailed that.
Oh, thanks, man. Russia will now get access to the global economy again. We're going to lift sanctions. There's going to be economic cooperation agreements. They're going to be in the G8, which is great. I'm really excited for the G3. We have the G2 with the United States and China. Once they get Russia in there, it'll be the G3. They can start like a band or something, a boy band. Here they discuss what they're going to do with the frozen funds. I think this part's interesting. The most interesting one is U.S. and Russia are going to invest their own investment vehicle into joint projects. I'm curious to see what those joint projects are going to be. And I wonder if they're all going to have to do with rare earth or nuclear weapon, whatever, nuclear facilities. They talk about the Zaporozhye power plant. It's going to be under a 50-50 split between Russia and Ukraine, but it's going to be under supervision of the IEA, EA. I think that's it. They talk about the land boundaries and the buffer zones. They all get full amnesty, which is funny. Oh, this is another big one. Ukraine's going to hold elections in 100 days from agreement of this. So does that mean that by the time this is said and done, Zelensky won't even be there to sign the end of the peace deal? Because that's what I think is going to happen, and I hope is going to happen.
Yeah, it's hard to know. I worry. I talked about this with CanCon yesterday. I worry when I see stuff like that they're going to hold elections in 100 days, because this is often the approach when the regime is trying to restore legitimacy in a country. And that's the approach they've tried to take in Venezuela, trying to get Maduro out of there and saying that they're going to hold elections there to build a new government. And part of that is they're going to put the election system of their choosing in place and have the government chosen through that. And when you do that, you're right back to square one.
Yeah. But okay, this is supposedly Trump's peace plan, right? Trump's 28-point plan. It's going to be, everything's going to be overseen and monitored by the Peace Council headed by Donald Trump. You would think that the guy who's been advocating for in-person, same-day voter ID, all those things, he would not just install like Dominion voting systems on the election machines in Ukraine.
Right.
So I'm curious to see what they do here, because it would be hilarious to see Putin put his name in the ring. I would love to see Ukraine elect Putin as the president.
That would be fantastic.
But this election should be like, there's going to be a lot of eyes on this election. Maybe we get election fraud exposure because of the Ukrainian elections. That would be hysterical.
That would be
something I said like a year ago. So it'd be great for my record that we were just talking about as well.
That would be great. And because your memory's so good, you could probably figure out exactly when you said it and where you said it and find that clip in like 5 minutes.
I probably could, because I'm not that my memory's so good, but because of my homework, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a transcript of everything I've ever said. So I'll be able to like search and find all that stuff at some point.
That's good.
Future, which will be fun. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a peace plan.
A lot of it is very much like the plan they had in place before Putin's very brutal invasion took place. And so you would have to wonder, after nearly 4 years and what we're told are millions of deaths, how the status quo ante could be confirmed after so much time and so much killing and so much one-sided advantage in warfare. That doesn't sound possible to me, but hey, man.
Hey, all parties are going to receive full amnesty. So it's going to be like the war never even happened. And also, this is the most ambiguous part of this entire thing, is that all ambiguities of the last 30 years are going to be settled.
Yeah.
Like, how ambiguous is that itself? Like, what does that even mean?
I guess I guess with the encroachment of NATO toward Russia and Ukraine was supposed to be the buffer zone, and instead it became a launch pad for them.
Yeah. What this line was very ambiguous. That's why I think it's so funny they just say all ambiguities of the last 30 years will be considered settled.
Yeah.
What about any ambiguities before that? What is the exact cutoff date?
Well,
ambiguities.
I mean, ultimately, the two sides here go back to this same war over 1,000 years ago, and they've been fighting the same thing the entire time. So
it's also dumb, silly, but whatever. We may be approaching some sort of narrative conclusion to this conflict. This does no mention of biolabs, which I thought was notable. It says one part in here where they all condemn Nazis or something. I'm pretty sure, but otherwise, like at the very beginning of this, we were told by Russia anyway that part of this was to denazify Ukraine.
Yep.
And the only mention we get of, part of like the main objective of this whole thing is this line: all Nazi ideology and activities must be rejected and prohibited. Wild. There's been a real rash too. This just reminded me of something, because I thought they used the word condemned in here, but they didn't. But have you noticed, like, people condemning and being asked to condemn things on Twitter is becoming, it's like annoying me now. I see it every other post from a mainstream person. Like, I can't believe this person won't condemn what that person said. I condemn people asking me to condemn something, or people who condemn things. I think it's so stupid. It's like a form of cancel culture. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's just group signaling to figure out whether or not a person is still committed to the group ideology.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I had for tonight, man. Unless you have anything else
that
you want to talk about. We could see if we have another Rumble Studio ad. I thought we did. I think we got Rumble Premium. Yeah, we do. We'll do Rumble Premium, which I'm pretty sure we have you can use Badlands or Badlands 10. If one of them doesn't work, try the other. And we get, I think, even more benefits from it, or something, like an extra couple dollars. But anyway, you've probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal. And again, you can also use promo code Badlands or Badlands 10. Plus, Rumble just rolled out their Rumble wallet to Android users, some Android users. Which is
that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to checking that out.
Yeah, I texted one of the guys over there, and he called me yesterday during OnlyLand, so I didn't answer. And I called him today, and he didn't answer. But we're going to talk about, we're going to be on that thing next year soon, I think. So it's pretty exciting.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, should be a good time. But let's check out the boosts real quick. Also, I don't have an outro video. If you have any idea. So that is your homework assignment for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to think about that.
Okay. Let's see the boosts here. By the way, badlandsmedia.tv/boosts. It's a way you can basically leave us a rant that we will read on air, but you don't have to be watching live to leave it. So check it out. You can also become a Badlander here at the top, which is a way to support us on a recurring monthly basis. It's a real cool new feature we're rolling out. Pasadena Kate for $17 says, love the new native line on Rise. Just bought the Sherpa blanket. I don't think MTG is gone. We'll see her again. It's not goodbye. It's see you later. Just like corn. Quack Q says for $5 on November 8th, GART Day, 2 boosts left for Saturday DPH must be well camouflaged, not seen yet. Are we supposed to sue when our boost gets skipped?
You
not.
can. We know some lawyers who would take the case.
Which, by the way, if you missed last week's or Wednesday's episode, we read the letter from Ms. Brenner's attorneys. It's on my Twitter and social media. You can go find it. If you received a letter, let us know. I encourage you to go read it. That's probably all I should say on it. But yeah, just go do that. And if you did receive a letter, you've been made aware that you will have received a follow-up letter or should be receiving a follow-up.
Yeah.
Clarifying the original one.
Yeah, the second letter attempts to refute the first.
Makes you wonder why that first one or how that first one got sent in the first place.
Yeah.
It's wild times we live in. But thank you, Guac, for the boost. I'm so sorry. If you want to email me, maybe I can figure out a way to at least read what you said. And you can do that. Go to our badlandsmedia.tv, go all the way to the bottom, click contact us. Anyway, 1027JS says for $20, thanks, Jon and Chris. Thank you. Appreciate the support. My fellow North Dakotan. Lionheart777. Missed a 7 there. Hey guys, the MTG stuff seems way too over the top. This is for $100, by the way, so thank you very much. As does the Mondani meeting. I find it impossible to imagine she did this whole thing for the money and has decided to discard her entire reputation in the process. God bless. I mean, I don't know her personally, so I don't know if it's that hard to believe because I know a lot of people who do a lot of awful things for money. So definitely possible.
Also, if if it is just an act at this point, like, what are we doing making excuses for it?
That's a good point too. I feel like we shouldn't be. Raw Sharks Lives for $217. This is one to the whole company. Holy shit, we got an anonymous one for $1,000 the other day. That's a lot. That's cool. Thank you.
Well, we should get back to Raw Shark, though.
Raw Shark Lives, $217 for the whole company as well. I want to show support for all the Badlands hosts. At the moment, I am laughing myself silly at Alpha, Jew Rome, Alpha Ollie on Holy Lands. Shout out to Matt Trump. I do my best to never miss this Friday night show. Keep up the great work. Hey, Matt does a good job. Thank you for the support, guys. We got a Badlander here. Look at that. A couple of Badlanders, which is the monthly supporters. Badlands is my go-to for all things America First. I only usually watch live, so I don't rant much. This monthly subscription, in addition to some Badlander Substack accounts, this is a way to support your work. Much love. Thank you. Thank you, guys. And those who, I don't talk about my Substack very often. Appreciate those who are still subscribed, even though I haven't put out any articles because of the Badlands stuff. These are awesome. Another Badlander here from Pseudo Daylight. $10. Longtime listener, first time caller. Really appreciate how hard you all work. Shout out to BB from a fellow masshole. And G Money is right. Awesome. CV became a Badlander for $100. Look at this. JC Bird. Good to see you, JC. I saw you gifted some subscriptions earlier. Appreciate you. God bless and protect all Badlanders. Guide us forward, always moving with your strength and your wisdom in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. And we got C. Laura Nova for $50. Thanks for a great show. Having epilepsy surgery soon, so wanted to say God bless. I've learned a lot from DPH, especially Chris's radical doubt application. Hope to see you on the other side at a GART. Happy holidays to you both.
Thank you. And she's been active on Truth Social, relaying information about time she spent in Guyana and Venezuela, and that has been very interesting.
That is interesting. Very interesting. Awaken Mass became a Badlander, $20. Just wanted to say thank you. Thank you. I think that was the last. I think we got through them all. So thanks everybody for that. And we can do the rants now as well. I don't think I've seen any Keith O'Higgins yet. So, oh, never mind. I was going to say I need a welfare check. but I saw his dollar up there, so we're good. Aussie makes 73 in the middle of watching Only Lands for the second time in a row, and I've got to say, Alpha is freaking hilarious. Quickly becoming one of my faves on Badlands, loving all the content more and more every day. Thank you, Aussie Mix. About Sicko 16, I think we read this one as well. Tonight on Flow, Cam had a caller suggest they might have got intel on Trump's future plans, and they're freaking out. Definitely possible. Joel Peter Fan, the way Alpha was dropping the MFers last night, we should call him Sam Alpha L. Jackson. That's a good one. Aussie makes 73 for $1. It was sure interesting that MYG did the whole media run before she said she was going to bail. That is interesting. I mean, it is kind of weird. It is very much like Matt Gaetz, how you got elected to do this thing, but you don't do the thing. That's a little weird. I'm gonna ask him about that though when I'm emceeing that event and make fun of him for it.
When is that coming up?
December 13th.
Oh wow.
Kansas. Yeah, if you're in the Kansas area, you can go to the event. I should find that. I'll find it. I'll repost it again on my socials. But I got asked to MC event. I'm as surprised as you guys are. Probably the last time I ever do it, because I plan on. It's supposed to be a room full of politicians. Some of them. I call them out. Do my thing. Katie Hayes says, I feel that MTG Trump thing is just like DeSantis, Pence, etc. I can hear them giggling about the fake fight. See how nice they are to each other during the divorce.
Could be.
Could be. Hang on America for $5 says, check out this regarding MTG. It's from Proletario. Oh, man, that is a long post. I don't know if I want to read all that, but I will check it out. We'll check it out, just not do it right now. That was a long post. Aussie Mix 73, Chris's article is spot on, man. Everyone really needs to read that shit. I can't wait to be able to share it. It should be presented in schools and churches everywhere.
Well, yeah, maybe that's going a little overboard, but thanks.
Basically, just replace the Bible. Is that what he's saying?
No, I would never expect that that's what's being said.
Just joking. But yeah, I totally agree that everybody should read it. And you should share that link again when you get a chance.
I will.
Gfont is 119. I think somebody is convincingly in MTG's ear promising funding, and U.S. women are ready for a female president, and 2028's the year. Or she's getting a cable TV and or a podcast deal. Maybe we should sign her up. I'm not ready for pantsuits in the White House.
No.
That's gonna happen. The Alpha Warrior Show tunes in. Says, Jew roam into his house. Where's me hose at? Thank you for that, Alpha. Melindy, major friction inbound. Chris, on the worshiping the state theme, do you recite the pledge?
Well, I don't often have an opportunity to do that.
We do it at Gart's.
Yeah, and I have done it before at Gart's. I'm trying to think if I did it last time or if I was present for it. I have mixed feelings about that. I understand that the history of it is weird, that alterations were made to it, and people have they think it's weird to commit to a nation. I agree that it is weird to pledge allegiance to a nation, especially if the status of that nation is indeterminate or undetermined. Anyway, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I haven't really made a decision on that. I don't think much about it because I'm not a first grader.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we should, last week we were talking about the blood oath to Badlands and how we're going to be making everybody do that.
Oh, right.
Maybe we should come up with a pledge of allegiance to Badlands as well that we can all recite before every show. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, we can force them to recite it. Otherwise, we'll send them to the principal's office.
Yeah, and send them letters from our attorneys threatening a bunch of things that they can't legally threaten. Thomas Time 76. If Trump wants to fulfill his promise, giving power back to the people, does he do that by holding our hand in a fake election or burning it all down to see if we can decide our fate for ourselves? I did read that one earlier, so thank you. Alpha Warrior Show, Jew Rome for president in 2028. You got my fake vote, man. Artsy Joan, I'll be your campaign manager, Jew Rome, for $5. Look at that. That's like all you really need is a campaign manager. You don't have to do anything. It's great work, Alpha. Campaign's really kicking. Aussie makes 73. Fuck it, I'm a Jerome ho, not ashamed to admit it. Look at that. Zen Papa, you could call it electile dysfunction. Sorry, that was terrible. That was good. I've heard that before. Is that Seth Keshel's thing?
I mean, that's an old school Daily Show thing.
They would be the ones that come up with that.
Yeah.
Old School 69, the only true way to successfully implement first principles to anything in life. And it's a Substack, Simple Truths to Live By. Did you write this, Chris?
I did not.
John 14:16. I am the way, the truth, and the life. There you go. But it's in response to something you wrote.
Oh.
It's close enough. Peyton Pooh. Just share the No Treason podcast and sit back and enjoy the show. Take Trump and watch it burn. There you go. That's a good idea. That's a great idea. And the podcast is great too.
Yeah. People have been saying many good things about it.
Yeah. Tomorrow, tune it in. You can skip Burning Bright show, but be sure to tune into the No Treason podcast. 2 Mevs for $5. A great point made by Chris. We've always been lied to, so the history we learned is yesterday's fake news. Good luck arguing that one, in my opinion. Peyton Pooh afterthought. Where are what should have happened? Thousands of interviews to all family members of the victims of 9/11, spouses, kids, cousins, parents asking for a friend. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Keith O'Higgins, John, reason Scott Adams is filming from garage now is his right to try treatments involved high levels of radiation. He needed to isolate away from any humans and even his cats who would join the show. That makes sense. Hope he recovers. I'm curious what treatment he tried too.
It was mentioned, and I don't recall what it was, but it's out there.
All right. Austin Mix73, would y'all agree we're in a worldwide psyop war? If so, would it be going too far to say we're in World War III? No, we did an episode on this like a little while ago where we're kind of always in a constant state of softly disclosed war.
Yeah. Yeah,
Austin
I agree with that. Sure.
73 again says, are Nick Fuentes and Ben Shapiro related? Every time I hear Nick's voice, I picture Ben. Nauseating, man.
They are basically the same thing. And it's funny, Nick Fuentes actually came out this week and thought and announced that it was a bad idea to read the Bible. And instead, we should just turn to clerics and the rest. So get our beliefs from someone else, from one of the experts. And it's funny because that is exactly what Ben Shapiro said when he was doing his mea culpa episode for convincing people to take the vaccine. He said basically he is of a culture in which they defer to their elders, and he meant rabbis. And of course, Nick Fuentes is saying clerics, so it's different.
Ben Shapiro said that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A great rant. It's one of those things that Ben Shapiro says that kind of defeats all of the other things he says. And he does that a lot, which is funny. Nick Fuentes does that a lot too.
Yeah. Boom Diggity, first edition transfer agreement here. And it's a Biblio book search. There's a link. I'll repost that in the chat for y'all.
Good job, Boom.
Great job, Boom Diggity. Thank you. And then another $1. Another link. Austin Mix 73. Hey man, I want a letter too, damn it. JK, sorry guys. Sorry y'all are going through that nonsense. Fuck them. Yeah, I would like to agree.
It's
I don't know
just practice for greater future nonsense.
Yeah. But by then we may not be able to afford that future nonsense, but that's okay. But we don't know how many fans got a letter, but we know that some people who are just fans, never employed or received a paycheck from Badlands, who got letters. So weird. So weird.
It's like they're just fishing for attention, information. Like just contacting anyone who might have ever had an interaction with any of us and just figuring out like, hey, is this person going to disclose something? Can I find some message from 5 years ago that might put them in a compromising looking situation if I just take it out of context? I mean, it's always that shit, you know?
Crazy. Makes you wonder what's going on.
It really does.
The Alpha Warrior show, this for $5. Remember, Alpha, wasn't it you last night talking about how everybody's being cheap assholes? And here we are getting a bunch of $5 rants from you. I feel like that's a little hypocritical from Jew Rome, but Jew is in your name, so I get it. This Rumble rant is to let you know my previous rant was sent because I'm a moron and don't know how to do Rumble rants. Ha ha ha, wink. I don't get it. because I don't see your other one. Unless it's this one, which you're talking about all your hoes in the house. Anyway, Nevada Runner, thumbs up, and a turkey. Oh, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving this week, guys.
True.
I won't see you till after Thanksgiving, so I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, Chris.
Well, thank you. And likewise.
Oh, well, thank you. 417 Patriot says, JC is the freaking bomb. He saved my butt at GART. I will forever be grateful for him. Just want to publicly thank him. Love you both. Where's the next GART? Good
He
question.
is a great one.
Still working on it. And JC is great. I remember you telling me that story at GART. You're trying to describe him because you didn't get his name. I don't remember the exact situation. They forgot their card or something, or their wallet, and he like covered them. And they're like, this tall guy, he's got dark hair, he's a little older, but he's so nice. And like, oh, that's JC. Yeah, it was a fun time. Anyway, that's all the rants. Did you find a? You did.
I did. But if we're on YouTube or anything, this is going to give one of the things where it takes it down for copyright, and you would then have to eliminate it afterward. The AI would delete it. So,
okay.
Just saying.
Well, to the 200 people over on YouTube, thank you for watching. You can come over to Rumble if you want to see this outro video, but I'm going to take you guys out and then I'll play it. So we just don't get that little hassle. So bye-bye YouTube.